Hello, I'm Dr. David DeRose, here to talk with you about an amazing connection. It's a connection between COVID-19 and Ebola. Now, if you're like a lot of people who heard me talk about such connections back 6 weeks ago, you might be like them saying, what is this guy talking about? These two viruses, very different. What could they possibly have in common? Well, it's true. Ebola and the novel coronavirus that is causing COVID-19 are not really similar at all. The way they're transmitted is different. The clinical diseases they cause very different. So how could we learn anything about how to deal with COVID-19 from Ebola? Well, the answer goes back, some 6 years ago, when the world was dealing with that last great pandemic fear. And at the time, I started looking into the medical research about Ebola and ended up writing a book called Evading Ebola. Now, if you're getting worried that this is a sales pitch for a book, it's not. By the end of this short video, I'm going to tell you how you can get a free copy, a free eBook of Evading Ebola, because I think it's still relevant to us today. And that's what this short video is about. When I did the research on Ebola, I found something really interesting. And that was something that nobody was talking about, at least not on my radar screen. No one was talking about how many individuals in Africa had been exposed to the Ebola virus and had never gotten sick. In fact, they had become infected. That's right. Research showed, and I documented in the book, that individuals had been exposed to Ebola. They had never gotten sick. You say, well, you're talking about asymptomatic or inapparent infection. We've been hearing a lot about that as it relates to COVID-19. Now, again, very different. COVID-19 seems to be readily transmitted from people who have inapparent infection to those who are susceptible. Ebola, not the case. Those individuals with asymptomatic infection, we don't have any evidence that they were transmitting it to other people. So you say, well, what's this parallel then? Why could this be a secret? Well, first of all, if you look at the subtitle of the book, Evading Ebola, decrease your risk of infection. That was an important point then. It is today as well. I'm not advising anyone to not heed practical guidelines about how to decrease your risk of exposure. Let's face it, if you never get exposed to COVID-19, you can never get infected with it, okay? COVID-19, the disease, SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes it. Here's the point. That's just the first phase, and that's what most people are talking about. But I'm so glad that today, unlike during that Ebola pandemic, or at least pandemic fear that swept the world about Ebola in 2014, people are talking today about how you can fare better if you're exposed. So here's what I want to give you today. There are simple things you can do that the research suggests improves your immune functioning. So if you are exposed to a virus, you're less likely to get sick. Now I know, can I prove to you that these things will decrease your risk of infection with COVID-19? I can't prove it to you, but the evidence is suggestive that our immune system is a big factor when it comes to who will get serious COVID-19 infection and who will not. What can you do to improve your immune system? That's what's in this book. I was especially speaking about Ebola back in 2014, and I'm telling you these things are relevant today. What kind of things do we talk about? One, simple point, keep well hydrated. Good hydration is important for the health of your respiratory system, your respiratory tract, and that is where coronaviruses get their foothold. Can I prove to you good hydration is going to help you not get COVID-19? No, but I think there's suggestive evidence. We pointed out in the Ebola book. What other things can you do? Proper nutrition. The winners, eating more plant foods, avoiding things like sugar. What other things can help you as far as immune functioning? Avoid alcohol, avoid tobacco. Now I know A recent meta-analysis looking at COVID-19 says, well, we can't say for certain that tobacco smoking puts you at greater risk of COVID-19 infection. But we can tell you this. Even in that meta-analysis, there were suggestions that tobacco smoke was definitely not helping you. And from everything we've seen with the immune system and your lung defenses, tobacco smoking is not helping you. It undermines what we call the mucociliary blanket, those little hairs and the protective mucus in your respiratory system. Smoking, not a winner. What other things can you do proactively to improve your immune system? Regular physical exercise, that's a winner. Over-exercise, pushing yourself to exhaustion, never helps the immune system. What other strategies? Adequate sleep, stress management, and yes, you guessed it, social connectedness. We talk about all those things in the Ebola book. You say, wait a minute, wait, social connectedness. I'm locked up in my house. You can be socially connected even if there's no one else in the house with you. Find ways to connect with other people. Share a watching of this video. Pick up the free copy of Evading Ebola. Read it and then talk with your friends about it. How do you get it? Simply send me an email to drderose@compasshealth.net. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let me know if you prefer a PDF copy or a Kindle edition of the book. If you don't tell me, I'm going to send you a PDF copy, okay? If you want a Kindle edition, let me know. I'm happy to send you that free. You want a physical copy of the book? We're giving them away to anyone who purchases anything on our website, compasshealth.net. If you order something else from us, we're happy to throw in a free physical copy of the book. Last thing I want to tell you, when you send us your email address, in addition to sending you the book, I'm going to send you some updates and actually a link to some videos that also are calculated to improve your immune system. They're based on my newest book, The Methuselah Factor, so we'll send you that information as well. All you do, send that email to Dr. DeRose, that's DeRose, DeRose, @compasshealth.net. Well, hopefully this will help you in your quest to stay healthy, to avoid COVID-19, at least to avoid COVID-19 serious infection, and to really get an upper hand as we're trying to do all we can to stay healthy in these challenging times. I'm Dr. David DeRose.